Hello everyone, and I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Extinct Bricks Originals. And this high-flying episode will be all on the LEGO compatible custom Extinct Bricks Originals Archaeopteryx. But before we head on with the video, I'd like to say thanks to youtube.com audio library for this awesome background music. Please also like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell. You may also follow me on my social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and in LYKA, which is available here in the Philippines but will be global soon. To be able to support my channel, please do not skip on all the ads on all my videos. Thanks for the support, everyone! The Guess This PC contest winners will be announced at the end of the video, but first, here is how you can join. Just click on the Extinct Bricks icon and it will lead you to the Extinct Bricks homepage. And in the homepage, just click on the community link and it will lead you to all my posts. Thanks everyone! I had problems saying this name when I was a kid. Well anyways, let's move on with the making of the Archaeopteryx. First, this is actually the base figure that I will be using for this one. Among the modifications made were making the neck longer. Also, the arms needed to be flexible in some ways so that it can flap its wings. The tail needs to be flexible as well. To be able to do this, I made use of flexible wires as skeletons for these. Comparing it side by side with the base figure, you can see that I've also made modifications to the head as well as that of the feet. And then I moved on with, of course, creating the plumage or the feathering for the Archaeopteryx, using the same material that I use mostly on my other figures. Flexible foam, why not? And since this is a fairly small figure and is part of the Extinct Bricks minis, I went on ahead with base coating it with white. The white acrylic is hand painted and need not to be sprayed, but you can actually spray paint it if you'd like. It takes around 2 to 3 coats of white for it to have that certain opacity that I'm looking for. I did read in some recent discoveries that the Archaeopteryx actually is colored black with a little bit of white on some of its feathers. However, I do want it to be really colorful and would pay homage to one of my favorite characters from the He-Man Masters of the Universe cartoons back in the late 90s. He-Man and She-Ra has been such a big part of my childhood before, and so I wanted it to have some sort of connection to some of my projects, such as this one. Tilana is the sorceress that actually provided He-Man the sword. So this time I wanted this particular custom of mine to represent Tilana. She is a sorceress that actually turns or transfigures into a hawk. She is the guardian of Castle Grayskull. And the colors of this particular sorceress would be pink, blues, and oranges, which are the colors that I was actually aiming for to make this particular figure, the Archaeopteryx. Taking Tilana as the inspiration for the colors of this figure, the head will be colored blue, as well as those of the legs and also the arms. To break down the dark colors of the blue, I wanted it to have a little bit of turquoise to it. This will serve as a transition color from the dark blue to the orange. Here is the more colorful part of this project, turning some feathers into orange. And here I am just finishing off on the orange part. I think it's a really colorful bird and it's not too complicated in terms of coloration, and I'm really liking the contrast of the blues with the oranges. So adding several more details such as those of the colors on the eyes, I think this would be the last, or at least the finished painting product of the Archaeopteryx. Now the Archaeopteryx wouldn't be done without those fingers on the wings, because technically it is still a dinosaur and it should have actually fingers on the wings. And since it is a very small figure, I don't want the scope of this being breakable, so I'm attaching here plastic cylinders or plastic material that I will be able to, attach as wings. It's quite hard to do this, so I've had several tries on it, but still, it actually paid off. And there you have it, the finished Archaeopteryx. I hope you guys like it. Now it's time for us to have the closer look on the Archaeopteryx. And this time, Our Lady of Extinctrix here, Moira, will be introducing the Archaeopteryx to you. She's a lady and Tilana is also a lady, so she will be the one having this one, but she'll be coming back later for some size comparisons. Now let's have a closer look on the bird. I mean, the dinosaur. I'm getting confused. So the Archaeopteryx is basically still a dinosaur. It has legs, it has hands, and it has wings. Feathers, of course. It is actually the first dinosaur that I have encountered with a feather. If you guys are wondering who Tilana is, here's a picture of her. Maybe it'll ring a bell. Now can you see the resemblance? Well, I'm really happy making this one. So you can see here, looking a bit more closely, the details on the feathers would be, of course, orange on the bottom and then blue and orange on the topmost portion of the feathers. It'll have 3 fingers each on each hand. And of course, it will have several detailing on the feathers, of course, on the body with a few brown stripes there. And of course, the hands are also flexible as well as the feathers on the wings. Since the base figure for this is the baby raptor, it will have of course the attachment to a stud on the bottom. And that's about it for the closer look. Now let's have the size comparisons. And as with my other videos, the size comparisons will begin with comparisons of the actual figure with that of a human being. And that is where Moira comes in. Eyeballing the sizes between or comparing that of the minifigure, I think it is just the right proportion and the right size. About here. Although the Archaeopteryx here on my end is a little bit bigger, but I think that's okay because this is the smallest base figure that I could ever find. Thanks Moira for all your help. Now it's time for us to compare this Archaeopteryx with some of my figures. This is the Lego Bumpy. I think Lego Bumpy is really cute and I'm really liking it. Although it doesn't have much of the articulations, I still like this figure because it's about the same size as that of the Baby Bumpy. Comparing the Baby Bumpy here with the Archaeopteryx, it's about the same length from head to tail. Thanks Bumpy for your assistance. Now it's time for us to have or move on with the next comparisons. This is the Extinctrix Protoceratops. The Protoceratops is one of the smaller creatures that I have under the Ceratopsian family. Although the Protoceratops is small, it is considerably larger than this Archaeopteryx, taller but around the same length. Thanks, Mr. Protoceratops. Now let's move on with the next. This is the Extinct Silophysis. This particular minifigure is actually based off from the Jurassic Park kind of toy line from before. I actually made two variants for this one, so if you guys haven't checked the video yet, please check it on my Extinct playlist. You can see that from the above picture or above view, the Silophysis is a slender animal or figure. However, it is taller and also longer than that of the Archaeopteryx. And here's the next comparison, the Extinct Accurate Velociraptor. Now, this is actually the smallest dromaeosaurid or raptor that I made so far, and comparing it with the Archaeopteryx, definitely this is still larger than that of the Archaeopteryx, around 2 times the length and 2 times the height as well. Both feathered dinosaurs are really cute to look at in terms of colors and feathering, but I think they are fierce in their own ways. The Velociraptor hunts other dinosaurs while the Archaeopteryx hunts small lizards as well as other insects. And now it's time for us to have the Extinct species roll call. But before we head on to that, first I'd like to remind you guys that videos on all the custom figures that you see here is available in the Extinct playlist, so do check it out guys if you haven't yet. Let's now start the roll call. This is the Velociraptor, Accurate, the Silophysis, the Protoceratops, Lego Bumpy here, and of course the star of the show, the Lego compatible custom Archaeopteryx. And we're almost ending the video. It's now time for us to have the last looks on the Archaeopteryx. The name Archaeopteryx actually came from the two Greek words archaeos meaning ancient and pteryx meaning wing. Thus it is also known as the old wing or the first wing. It lived in the late Jurassic period around 150.8 to 148.5 million years ago and is part of the Avialae family. It can grow to a length of 1 feet 8 inches, a weight of 1 kilogram, and a wingspan of 1.5 feet. Pretty impressive, huh? Moira is in such joy spending some time with the Archaeopteryx in the Extinct aviary. And that ends our video on the Archaeopteryx. I hope you guys like it as much as I did. It's been a while since my last Minutes video, right? Now it's time for us to announce the Guess SPC contest winners, and we had 10 lucky picks. Rebnadu, Oh My Liam, Bizarre Mars, Maxim Taskaev, Glitch Money Gaming, Hilary Reyes, Brandon Cruz, Aiden Stevenson, Samuel David Villacava, and Indo 101. Thanks everyone! Now for our top 10 winners.
Top 10.
Godzilla, dinosaurs, lizards, and all.
Top 9.
Jurassic Bricks.
Top 8.
Chaplay 69.
Top 7.
Historia du Thor.
Top 6.
Supachit Kainara.
Top 5.
Victor Gabriel.
Top 4.
Mandy Amar.
Top 3.
Zaki PH.
Top 2.
Maximum Power. And
Top
Golden
1.
Todd. Congratulations everyone, and I'll see you on the next Get PC contest. Also, our babies Moira and Asher has their own vlog now, The Adventures of Moira and Asher. Please watch their videos and support their channel as well by subscribing. And as we always would say here in Extinct Bricks, let your inner dino brick roar! Thanks everyone, and bye!